outpouring of support for those impacted by Helene in Western North Carolina has been both extraordinary and unprecedented. In addition to the countless volunteers and donors pitching in, private pilots have been taking flight in record numbers, and they are flying with relief supplies to small airfields and hard-hit areas. But how do these remote airports deal with the increase in air traffic? Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot herself, May Beeler, has followed this closely. And May, they've got some special plans in place right now to help with all this flood of pilots.
Right, and really all in the name of safety. So, you know, typically the skies above remote airports, well, they're typically sparsely populated, but in the aftermath of Helene, that changed. So here's a snapshot of air traffic before Helene and after. From remote, out-of-the-way fields, you know, many without air traffic control towers, heightened traffic volume, it can be chaotic. Since Helene, the FAA has reported a 300% increase in air traffic over Western North Carolina. Now, according to the director of NCDOT Division of Aviation, we want every pilot, aircraft, and airport staff member to go home safely every night of the response. So, to ensure safe relief and rescue operations, federal and state agencies, including the FAA and North Carolina National Guard and the North Carolina Department of Aviation, have come up with critical safety plans.
So you see a lot of these, especially like a Hickory Airport, where there can be a good staging area to go up into the mountains and stuff. So what do these involve?
So
these new plans you're talking about.
Yeah, so the new plans just for Helene. So Helene is actually the first time in any disaster response that standard use Army aircraft flight routes, or SAAF, are being used to manage civilian and military aircraft. So these are designated flight paths or roadways in the sky that separate these aircraft, enabling smoother operations and reducing the risk of a near miss or incidents. So participating private organizations, they will inform their private pilots of communication procedures where these routes are in place.
Yeah, and what else is involved with this type of stuff?
Yeah, so there's more. We've got PPRs. You think, well, what does that mean? So
prior, you pilots got all this.
I know we have all these acronyms.
Just like the law enforcement, right?
It's true. So PPRs, prior permission request line. So what the pilots call ahead to schedule landing and unloading times. This reduces congestion and risk of incidents. Now, they are currently in use at Hickory, Asheville, Foothills, and Rutherford airports. And then there are also TFRs. We hear about these frequently. They're temporary flight restrictions. Now, they can be issued by the FAA at the request of local authorities. Now, these do not ban aircraft or drones from disaster relief. Civilian and volunteer operations, well, they can access the restricted airspace if they are coordinated with emergency responders.
Yeah, we've seen that with Jody Barr's story. You have these things coordinated and possible TFRs that are happening in certain areas. But you, as a pilot yourself, you said you've also had a lot of people contact you. And what advice do you have for people that do want to fly into first relief stuff?
So the FAA welcomes pilots, but we want to do it safely. And there are some organizations that will bring pilots together, and they've got all the communications necessary, the sources to set up proper collaboration. So if delivering supplies, pilots out there, make sure you have a community-based organization standing by to receive your goods at the airport you land at. There may be nobody there to pick them up. Fuel may be limited, so fuel up before and after you land at these relief airports. Check NOTAMs and TFRs as part of your pre-flight planning. File flight plans so air traffic management is aware of projected airspace demand. And as I said, get with an organized group. We had Operation Airdrop. They have completed their missions, but there are other flying clubs around. Right now, airspace is limited due to ongoing air missions by the National Guard. Private pilots should coordinate before flying humanitarian relief missions in North Carolina. So you think, well, where do I get that information, May? It's on our website, qcnews.com. And again, pilots are welcome to do this. It's just these new rules or recommendations that make things easier and safer for everybody.
I think that's one of the things that you've seen such a catastrophe like this, is seeing the outpouring of the private citizens that want to help in any way they can, whether it's their plane, their helicopter, and very few people can do that. There's a lot of folks that have been doing that as well.
That's right, and to be privileged to have a private pilot certificate and have your own airplane and to use it for the good.
Yeah.
It's heartwarming.
Tremendous amount of good that's been done over the last few weeks. All right.
And continues.
Yes, it does. May, thanks.